over the world. It was an online conference on April 14. That was the original idea of our colleague here, Mohamed Baya, who used to be a PhD student at University of Western Ontario in Canada. And he came to Cluj for some years. So we started a very interesting collaboration. And he suggested, why not let's organize a conference around this idea of diasporic voices, but especially focused on laughter, silences, and tears. And this dimension of laughter was, I think, one of the most interesting discoveries of Mohammed in this complicated landscape of diasporic voices. So we had people from all over the world, I would say. So from Paris, from Romania, a lot of them, from Senegal, for instance, from Algeria, from other Eastern countries, these are European countries. I don't remember exactly now the whole landscape, but in any case, it was a very successful conference, I would say. And fortunately, so at the same period, Theodor Stan, here with us, suggested that we should organize another panel around diasporic Romanian voices in the United States. So the program was already conceived, so it was a little bit too late for April 14. But we suggested, me, myself, Mohamed, and Sergiu Mișcoiu, who unfortunately cannot be present today with us because he has an important event elsewhere. So we suggested that we should have this follow-up panel today. So 18th of May. And this follow-up panel focuses on the diasporic imaginary of belonging through the experiences of featured Romanian American writers here with us, Carmen Bugan, Mihaela Moscaliuc, and Domnica Rădulescu. This follow-up panel is supported by the Phantasma Center for Imagination Studies, the Center for African Studies, and the Center for Middle Eastern and Mediterranean Studies, and is convened by the Immigration Research Forum, Washington, DC-based entity, which hosts the Romanian American Literary Circle. This platform is dedicated to highlighting the voices and contributions of diaspora writers within the host nation setting. The panel's subtopics of memory and nostalgia will be approached as constantly renegotiated constructs of autobiographical narrative identity. Before starting the first presentation belonging to Theodor Stan, called Exploring Immigrant Resilience Through Narrative Identity Constructs, I would also like to listen, so to give the floor to Mohamed. He will also tell us several words about this.
Thank you, Laura. Thank you very much for these introductory remarks. Yes, it's very nice to see, and at the same time very humbling to see that this topic of diaspora, living in between, not living here, not really living there, or being ubiquitous, or dealing with the fact of being not fully here, not fully there, always in between, always negotiating, has found some echo here in Romania. I know I must avoid digging too much into gravity, as my interest is also in levity. But I would like to take this occasion to think about what Professor Corinbaga started the conference with when he reminded us that just next door we have a conflict, a very cruel conflict going on. Yes, I know there are conflicts all around the world, but what made the conference quite special in a way is that although we were deep into gravity and the seriousness and the solemnity of the beginning of the conflict, the Russian-Ukrainian conflict, we still managed to focus for a while into instances of lightness. And I hope that tonight we will be able to give space both to gravity and to levity. So yeah. That's how I would like to start. As for tonight, I hope we will. I know I'm quite optimistic, but I hope we will all grow as these events, because of the wide variety of profiles that they managed to bring together, unsuspectedly or unexpectedly can bring new perspectives. And this is my hope for tonight, that we will be able to open different perspectives on literature, because this is, I think, what unites us, no matter the languages that we speak, no matter the languages we were raised with. And without further ado, I'm just going to introduce Theodor Stan, who is here with us. Theodor Stan is the president of the Immigration Research Forum, a research, educational and civic action focused non-profit devoted to promoting an in-depth understanding of factors which foster the successful integration of immigrant populations from the wider Black Sea region. He is the convener of several national conferences of Romanian American professionals in Washington, D.C., and established nationwide field-specific diaspora councils to initiate the mapping of current expertise and peer support mechanisms that nurture the integration and positive visibility of immigrants' contribution to their host communities. He is a contributor to the Carnegie Council on Ethics and International Affairs on the nexus of migration and democratic governance in Southeast Europe and the wider Black Sea region. Theodor obtained his master's in area studies from the Georgetown University's Center for Eurasian, Russian, and East European Studies, and his bachelor's degree in political science, international affairs, and globalization from Bard College, New York. The title of the presentation we will be listening to is Exploring Immigrant Resilience Through Narrative Identity Constructs. This presentation outlines the experience of establishing a literary circle during the pandemic years, a group of first and second generation diaspora writers who attempt, negotiate, and explore their belonging and their hyphenated cultural identity through this invitational safe space within which they present, share, and give feedback while searching for recurrent themes of nostalgia and lived trauma within their predominantly autobiographical work. Using autobiographic narrative identity literature as conceptual tool and qualitative interviews as working mechanism may shed light on the kind of group-assisted resilience and host community interventions that may assist immigrants in developing healthy coping strategies through their experience of acculturation and integration. Theodor, the floor is yours.